I think I'm live here. I'm going to check on my phone and see if we've got this going here. So, just a quick second, all of you out there in the world, as I check my phone. I am live. What do you know? Hi. Well, this is a little different today. Sorry for the kind of odd intro. Um, I'm at the family camp, the Lakewood Park Bible Camp in beautiful Devils Lake, North Dakota. You can see in the background here a bunch of people walking by. I'm sitting outside the cafeteria during lunch, and I'm doing a live video here. I see people, hi guys, people walking by as we're making this video here today. Our Tuesday tune-up. I normally do this with one of my sidekicks, Pastor Lacey Fisher, but she's not here today, so I'm going solo today. And it's kind of a weird angle to my beard. Oh, so weird. Anyway, well, I'm glad you're here today with me, and this will be a little different, probably a little quicker, but that's fine sometimes. And I'm here, and I'm outside the cafeteria, and it's lunchtime. So part of my hope is that I'll catch a couple of pastors walking by and pull in somebody to just mention something about the call of God. So I'm very excited to do this. This is kind of fun. And then we'll go from there. But we'll be back to our normal thing next week as well. Pastor Lacey and I doing this at the church. But that'd be a little different today, do it at the campground here. So but here we are. And so we're gonna dive in and talk about the call of God. The last couple of weeks we've done this. You've heard myself share my testimony, you heard Pastor Lacey share her testimony. Kind of about the things that God calls us to do. And part of the goal of this series we're doing here online is that we want to sort of we want to help you find and understand and know the call of God for your life, which can be kind of hard to do. And so I want to give you a few pointers and thoughts on the call of God for your life when it comes to recognizing it. Um, I think most good people, most Christians, they want to be. Hey, back there, it's you're the world's favorite pastor's wife back there. Hi. We're just live right now. So far I have 0 viewers, but that's awesome. All right. She's the best. I like her. Anyway, okay. So I think most good Christians, most people who know God and love God, they want to find what's right, but sometimes it's hard to know what it is. So I want to take you through a few things that might help you recognize and know what the call of God is for your life. And so let me take a few moments right now and give you a couple of thoughts here. So a great way to start off where you find out where you are to serve, what you're to do, is to do a little bit of self-reflection, to know kind of more about yourself, understand about yourself. What things do you like? What things do you don't like? Kind of get some self-reflective moments here. And so, hey, Pastor Albert, I am live on my church's YouTube page. Would you want to give me 30 seconds on the call of God?
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to have Pastor Albert Launchlager here join me for a second. He's going to give me 30 seconds on the call of God. So, Pastor Albert, give me 30 seconds just on a quick 30-second tidbit on the call of God.
Well, the call of God has changed my life greatly. I went from being just a depraved sinner to a man after God's own heart. And we serve farm and ranch families. We take the gospel with us everywhere we go. And it's not just a calling, it's a lifestyle.
That's awesome.
And I think that's the biggest part of the call of God.
Yeah.
It's not just a calling, it's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's you take it everywhere you go.
That's awesome. Now, when you get the call of God to go into ministry, when did that happen in your life?
I was about 27 or 28 years old, and I remember God calling me, go to my people. I kind of felt like when Moses was called, and I didn't know what that meant. And I thought that meant, okay, I'm going to go pastor a church. I'm going to go do this. And I actually went and did that. I went and pastored a church. And as I was pastoring that church, I really felt God drawing me into the mission field to farm and ranch families.
That's awesome. So so one thing we're talking about, Pastor, we're talking about how the call of God has no age limit. You're in your late 20s when you get a call of God. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Awesome. Thanks a lot. All right. I appreciate that. That's awesome. So I'll try to catch a couple more guys if I can as they're walking. I'm at a very prime location because I can't get to the food without seeing me. So, all right. Let's go back to it. So recognizing and having self-reflection about who you are a little bit. So let me give you 2 things here. Okay. So I want to talk about 2 things. One is what is your passion? So a part of the call of God oftentimes is going to be in your passion. What is it in your heart? What things are you passionate about? What things has God put in your heart that kind of sets you afire, that bring about this desire to do something? Very often the call of God collides in those 2 spots where one of those two spots. And one of those is passion. So what is it in your life you're passionate about? What things has God placed in your heart that you're passionate about? And that's very important, because you don't want to be in something you don't have passion for. Because sometimes, no, that's not, you're not gonna have passion all the time, but you want to largely have a passion for what you're doing. And the other part of it, so passion is one part. The other part is skill set. What is your skill set? What giftings you have? What abilities you have? I have found in my own life and in many others' lives, you'll see this in most leaders and most ministers, is they serve and they find a place they want to be in, when they find a spot where their passion crisscrosses skill set. Um, so when you look at your life, when you look at, and you have some self-reflection about yourself, and you look at yourself, okay, what am I passionate about, and what do I have skills in? Very often, the call of God that He's going to pull you towards and draw you towards is going to be somewhere where those two spots meet. Um, and both are very important. You both need to have a skill set and a passion. If you're missing one of those two, it doesn't always go how you want it to go. And let me give you a couple examples here. So, um, I know myself fairly well about my skill sets and my passions. And so let me just take a minute right now and let me explain to you why these two are important. So let me talk about first, if you have no passion but a skill set. Now, something my wife would tell you this, and she would be happy to tell you this at some point, but uh, uh, when it comes to childcare. So for our Momco ministry in our church, over the last 2.5, 3 years, I've done the Momco under two. So I'm taking care of the crawlers to 2-year-olds. I'm taking care of the little ones. And my wife will tell you this, that I have a skill there. I'm great with the little kids. I don't know what it is. I don't know why. But here's the thing that's funny is I have no passion for that. I don't want to do that. I do it because I love my wife and I want to help our church. But I don't really have a skill set, a passion. I have a skill set with no passion. And so what you'll find, if I did this forever, if I became a full-time childcare worker, I would lose my ever-loving mind. Not because kids are terrible, not because your kids aren't wonderful, because I don't have a passion there. I have a skill with no passion. And it's important to have a passion in things you're going to do. So that's one side of things. So the other side of things is this, having a passion but no skill. So let me give you another idea from my own life. Okay. I love music. I love songs. I love listening to music. I love how it works. I love how it comes together. I love the lyrics. I love the whole part about music. But here's the problem. I have absolutely zero skill set. I can't sing a lick. I can't play an instrument. I got nothing going for me when it comes to music. In fact, I took 3.5 years of piano. I went from level 1A to level 1B, and I got that far. So in 3 years of piano, I got nowhere. Why? Because there was not a skill set there. So if you said, Pastor Matt, what are you passionate about? I'd say, me, I love music. And if you gave me a microphone and said, go on stage and sing, oh man, it's gonna go bad. I'll be so passionate. You will see very few people more. I mean, I'll have the hand raised, I'll have the eyes closed. I'll be doing maybe one of these here. I'll do one, a little bit of this. I'll do all the worship things you see done. But I'm gonna tell you this: I have no skill. I have no skill set. And so part of my recognition is I have a passion for music, but I have no skill set. So you put me in that position, I'm not gonna go well. So that's part of the question is where does skill set meet passion? And on what spectrum can you be used by God in those areas? So you're gonna find that if you want to know what God's calling you to do, you need to find where that skill set meets that passion. So the question for you to answer is where does skill set meet passion? And what can God use those for? So ask yourself that this week between these two, this week and next week for our Tuesday tune-up is where does your skill set meet your passion? And if you can find that, if you locate that, you'll be better off. So skill set meets passion. That's the goal. When you find the call of God, when you find that, you'll be on your way to find what God's calling you to do with your life. And that's what I want to encourage you today. So today, find where skill set meets passion and seek after God's will in that area. And if you find that, you'll be so much better off to do it otherwise. So this week, as you're going through the day, as you're working today, your job, you're doing all the things you do, and you're trying to figure out what do you want me to do for you? What do you want me to do for you, Lord God? What do you want me to spend my life doing? Ask yourself, where's my skill set and my passion? And God will begin to direct you in the direction of where you're going to find your call. With that, hey, Pastor, can I have 30 seconds on the call of God? I'm doing a live video for my church right now. We're doing a live video for my church. This is Pastor Sheldon McGorman, our superintendent. Would you give me 30 seconds on the call of God? Just 30, anything you want to share about the call of God?
The call of God.
Yeah.
The call of God is irrevocable. That's probably my favorite thing
that's
about
good.
it.
I
Listen,
love that.
the thing about the call of God is once He calls you, you can't give it back. How's that? Is that good?
Thanks,
Right,
Pastor Sheldon. I
thanks,
appreciate that. That's awesome. That was our superintendent. I told you, I'm right between where they got to get past to get to the food. So I'm in a good spot here. So the call of God is irrevocable. Remember we talked about a few weeks ago is that it doesn't matter the age. The call of God echoes through time, through age. So if you're called by God, it's irrevocable. It's still there for you. It's still calling out to you. So let's figure that out for you guys. Don't miss this. Don't miss. Let's see. And then the pastors in my near place here. I don't see a whole lot. Okay. All right. With that, you guys have a great day. I hope this helps. Helps us build your spirit a little bit, builds you up a little bit, and I hope God uses you. And I want to encourage you: find your call, find your passion, find your skill set, and see where those collide, and then serve someone in that direction. God's got a call for all of us who are in Him. If you're in Christ, God has a plan for your life, wants to do something with you. The question is: are you willing to do that? Are you willing to sacrifice what it takes to go do the call of God? It's not always an easy thing to do, but God is calling to you to walk out His call. All right. God bless you. Have a great week. Looking forward to seeing you all on Sunday. Thank you so much.